Hey, it's Jeff at 650 Cycle, and today I'm on the CB500F, and I'm bringing you along on the ride down Pine River Road, which is that right turn I just made. We're on Pine River Road, my favorite local road to ride. I've been down this road before. I brought you along on the GL650 on the Harley. I've been down this road a couple times on this bike. There's somebody else out having fun on his cafe. I actually rode this last week on this bike and decided I was going to ride it again this week and bring you guys along. So here we go. I checked my mileage that I've ridden this so far this year, and I'll be honest, it's quite pathetic. I have somewhere at this point around 1,300 miles that I've ridden this year, and it's July 8th. Usually I get 1,200 miles in April. A couple things attributed to that. One, it was cold all spring, like cold. It didn't even warm up in May until towards the end of May. And I guess I'm just at the point where it's like, I don't want to ride when it's that cold. So that was one thing that contributed to the lack of miles. Another one is that the Harley is having a charging issue, an intermittent charging issue. It'll ride fine for a while and then it won't charge. And you can't go far on that bike without a battery. So eventually the battery drains enough that lights come on and all that kind of stuff. So it's become an unreliable bike. I'm not quite sure what's going on with it. I think it's a voltage regulator, but I'm not 100%. So I have to do some more checking on that. Try to figure it out. The sign back there said St. Louis 21, so we're going to ride the 21 miles down to St. Louis. And typically what I do is I ride what is the road number is 46, take that across. It goes through Breckenridge and Merrill and Hemlock, and then when we get to Shields, I turn up on River Road and come up River Road, which, as the name would indicate, is a quite fun road. It's about as twisty as this one. I like doing that route because I get two different roads and two different perspectives. But what I'm going to do today, a little bit of change after this nice sharp curve right here. I got to focus on this. All right, well, it's sharp for Michigan and it's sharp for me. What I'm going to do today is once I get to St. Louis, I'm just going to turn around and ride this road back. It doesn't appeal to me to do that, but I'm a little pressed for time, so I thought that would be a good route to take and be able to get a little bit of ride time in, add to that 1,300 miles. It'll be probably 60, 70 miles by the time I get home. Yeah, I rode this last summer with Alex. He wanted to go for a ride, so I said, let's do Pine River Road. He's on his FC6R and I'm on this, and I'm blasting down this road and rocking out the corners, and I look up and he was way back, like way back, and I was like, oh, he has a very capable bike and he's riding at his skill level, which is good. So I'll slow down so that he can keep up with me a little bit. I was proud of him for not trying to hang with me. I didn't even realize that I was zipping along like I was just having fun. I don't consider myself a real skilled rider, but he has a few years under his belt, so definitely not as many miles as I have. And there's a deer standing alongside the road. I don't know if you can see it right there. This road's decent enough that it's cleared for a little ways, and they keep it mowed, so I was down in the Jackson area. We got family down there this last weekend, and it's my nephew-in-law. He had a bike for a while, and then he sold it. And he says, I just don't like riding down here. It just feels dangerous, and I don't like driving down there. The roads are fun. They're up and down and curves and all that, but the roadside comes right up to the road. You've got maybe 3 foot, and then you've got trees or other things, and there's not this mowed easement on the sides of the road. And after driving down there a little more, I was like, yeah, I could see why you wouldn't want to ride down here. He says people are always smacking deer down there, like bad. Understandable. We're making pretty good time today. I usually don't ride it this fast on the Harley. It just feels so right on this bike. That's what I like to see right there. The road gets curvy. There's a real sharp one right up here. I know I've been down this road enough that I know where the really good corners are, where the really good curves are. There's a good one coming up that I watched it get both of my kids. Juliana was with us one time, and I watched her go wide around it. Because the rest of these, you kind of get into a rhythm, and they're about the same radius, but that one is pretty sharp, and it's a little bit longer curve, so it's a little bit easy to come in a little hot on that one. And I'm not talking about this one. This one says 30 miles an hour, but I'm doing 55. Right at 55 through there. That's pretty good for me. I definitely don't ride this bike to its full capability and limitations. Meaning my skill level is less than what this bike can endure. That's a pretty good one right there. I forgot that one was quite that sharp. This is the one that sneaks up on you. It says 25 miles an hour. I don't think I'm going to hit it at 55. There's debris on the road typically. And then you come around a corner and somebody stopped on the road. So you got to be careful of those things. Blasting corners, you don't know what's around it if you can't see, and here's another one. Twisty roads ahead. What do they mean? This isn't 30 mile an hour curves up here. Oh, I'm trying out a chin mount today. Somebody suggested I get a chin mount as opposed to the side mount. It cracks my, it keeps my visor cracked open a little bit, which I don't mind riding like that, but I don't know what it's doing for the audio. I think it'll be okay. I did a little test run with it, and I didn't really notice a huge significant difference. Yeah, they're saying those are 30 mile an hour curves. I'm holding slightly more than 55, doing just fine. Real nos-lock. You gotta watch that guy. Yeah, I think they underrated that one. I think we were well beyond 30 miles an hour in those curves. It'll be interesting coming the other way because I never really drive that way. I might have done it once or twice. Typically, I don't know. I get my routes and I like to stick with them because I like looking at stuff, and I like looking at how things change. Sometimes there's drastic changes in the scenery You know, somebody, maybe they're redoing a house or they're building a house, or I like to look and see the progress on that type of stuff. And there's actually a truck sitting at this facility here this time. A lot of times it's just vacant, there's nothing there, so they're using it. Somebody's doing something there. St. Louis, 9 miles, 9 more miles of curvy roads. I did notice there's a house up here that they redid. It used to, somebody took field stones and like made their siding out of those. They mortared them all up there, and honestly it looked terrible. That type of stuff should be random, and it was like more of a pattern and it didn't look good. You could do that and make it look good, but that one did not look good. I don't know why I'm talking about houses, stuff you talk about when you're riding. This house right here, I think they're still working on it. See how that side and the base of that was? That was the whole thing, and it really looked awful. And so those changes like that is what I'm talking about, where you're riding and you see, oh, they're doing something with that house. It looks so much better now. This is a pretty sharp curve right here, so I'm going to slow down because there's a dirt road right there, which has a tendency to spread a lot of debris on the road. And there is a lot of debris. My buddy Josh, who's a sport bike rider, he was telling me about, he was riding with some guys one time, and they were quite skilled, and so he was learning a lot from them. And they were like, he's like, well, what if you get into a corner and there's rocks? And they're like, you're only gonna slip so far and then you're gonna get traction again. So ride the slide. I was like, oh, that's kind of a scary thought, but okay. It makes sense. A little stone like that, you're gonna feel a little slip, maybe. I probably slid on those, but didn't really notice it. Yeah, we're making really good time today. Turned around and headed back in no time. Where's the stop sign? Way back there, dude. Like way back there, and you missed it completely. So you have to be searching far near side to side all the time. There's always something going on here at this place. Sometimes there's cars sitting there like somebody's living there, and sometimes there's not. I was thinking at one point that like the roof was burned out on that. I'm not sure. I don't. My memory might not be serving me correctly. I have my moments. I like to see the cornfields too. There's a lot of cornfields around here. Like you ride in the spring and you might see them planting, or at some point you see some growth, and then you ride later in the year and like it's taller than you, and it's like, wow, that really shot up there. They got a good crop going this year. There's always interesting stuff on this corner, and I usually get lost on this corner because I'm looking at all the cool stuff. But I'm aware of that, so I try not to gawk too hard at the cool stuff they got in their yard. More than once I've been in the wrong lane coming around that one. that semi off to the right. I think our paths are going to cross. I have the right of way, but I see him. You just never know. I think even if he was a runaway semi, I would have beat him. Barely, but I'd have beat him. We made it. The chin strap, the chin mount has these little straps on it. Right now they're flopping around in my face and I don't really like that. It's a little bit of a annoying. They're probably beating up against the microphone too, so don't know if they're gonna stay. We'll see how all of that works. Chipmunk or rodent there. Not a very big piece of roadkill. This one says it's sharp, but I don't think it's that sharp. No, it wasn't. Very easily took it at 55. We're getting a little closer to St. Louis. There's more residential area right in here. 4 curves for the next 1.75 miles. Gotta love that. St. Louis, middle of the mitten. I'll go downtown and turn around. Uh-oh, got a problem with the mower. Ain't got no gas in it. You know what? I always turn right here. Let's go straight and see what it looks like. I think I can get into town, and I think I'm in second gear. Yeah. I always end up going down this route anyways. I thought that Jeep didn't have any ducks in it, and it did. He fooled me. Would it even be a Jeep if it didn't have ducks in it? Boy, it's a busy downtown area. Look at all that parking. What do we got? Oh, we got a pool down here. Oh, a Frosty cone. Dang. I might have to stop and get an ice cream. That might have to be a new destination right there. I didn't know that was there. I usually come in up the street a bit. There. Campfire neutral. All right, I'm gonna stop filming for a minute while I go see what kind of ice cream I can get for $2. Boy, I've been missing out all this time. I thought the closest ice cream place was Merrill. I hate to admit it, but she even gave me a senior discount. She asked my age, and I told her, and she says, "You get a senior discount today." I was like, "Oh man, do I like that, but I don't like that, you know?" I don't feel like a senior. Some days I do, but not today and not on this bike. I don't feel like a senior. My blinker's still on. I always forget to turn these blinkers off. All right, we are headed back up the opposite way, up the Pine River Road. That was good ice cream. It hit the spot. Man, that is nice. I typically would turn at that first stop sign, go into town and cross over into, I never knew that little place was there. I'm so glad I came today. That was so worth it. Got me a little ice cream cone. All right, as I have mentioned, I don't ride this route. I don't ride this direction. So we'll see. We'll see how things pan out. That makes it a semi-familiar road, I guess. Maybe that's why I ride my routes and I do the same direction all the time, so that I get a little bit more familiar with it and I can ride it a little bit harder. I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird. That would be my bet. I'm just weird. 12:30. I've been gone. I don't even think it's been an hour. 45 minutes maybe. See, I know these curves are not hard and heavy, but they're just unfamiliar, so I refuse to go into them too hard. There was a water ski. Could have had a free water ski today. There's a little lake. I'm not even sure I knew that was there. I've never seen the... Oh, so this is great because, like I said, I don't normally ride this. There's parts of houses and things that I've never seen because I don't ride this direction. I'm really surprised that I've never hit a bird. I take that back. I had one hit the Harley. It dove right into the headlight. But I've never hit one on this. I've never had one hit my body. I knew a guy a long time ago that he got pretty messed up. He said a crow hit him when he was on his bike. That's what he said anyways. Sometimes people make up stories because they were riding beyond their ability. Those are the people that have to layer down. If you have to layer down, then you're riding beyond your ability. I've been in some pretty not so nice situations, and I've never had the inkling to lay it down. There's another semi. That must be a pretty popular road up there. Going somewhere doing semi stuff. They both had water tanks on them, so farmers are out spraying somewhere. See, I knew nobody was coming, so I rode the center line and leaned into it because I could see far enough to be able to do that. Some of these you can't. Wow, that was a big bug. I felt like I slowed down a little bit coming into that, but I think I was just going too fast to begin with, because when I looked down I was going faster than I thought I was. So I did slow down, but I was going much faster than I thought I was, and then slowed down to what I thought was a reasonable speed, and it was still faster than what I thought I was going, if that makes any sense. I'm the type of rider, I guess, that I don't really look at the gauges a whole lot. That's why I'll ride forever with a blinker on, because I just never look at the dash. I have a pretty good sense of how fast I'm going. It's not 100% accurate, but I have a pretty good sense. And on a road like this, I'm riding by feel. I'm not riding by, oh, I need to go into this corner at 40 miles an hour. I'm riding by, okay, this is a 40-mile-an-hour curve. I can see all the way through it. I don't need to slow down much. And I just rolled through it quite a bit higher than 40 miles an hour. One thing that I don't like about this bike is that the muffler comes up and my right heel rests on it if I kick my feet back on the foot pegs. If your feet are where they're supposed to be on the foot pegs, then they don't hit it. But if I adjust for a little more comfort, you know, every once in a while you got to just move around a little bit and change your position, and that's all I'm trying to do is just move my foot back, but it falls right on the muffler. There's a heat shield on it, but I still don't want to burn the sole off of my boot. I'm going to slow down a little bit on this one just because I think it's a little sharper. Ooh, got into the rumble strips. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. And again, I might have been going a little faster than I thought I was coming into that. I'm seeing things that are reminding me of how sharp the curve is. This one's a pretty sharp one. It's a fun one, but it does have debris all over the road. Oh, you know why I hit that? Because I was looking right at it. Hopefully there wasn't a nail in it. You remember when I come through there, I was talking about rocks on the road and the fact that you're only going to slide so far. I hit that, and I know the bike probably slid. It probably moved over a little bit because I was in a curve, but it really didn't feel like it. It didn't feel like I lost traction. It was just a bump in the road. So I guess it affirms the point that you're only going to slide so far before you regain traction. because I was in a curve, I was leaned over, hit that piece of wood, and it didn't even feel like the bike moved as far as sliding. It was just kind of a bump. So if I lost traction, it was a split second, and we were continuing on our way. Oh, this would be the perfect place to do some donuts. If I was 16 to 18, that'd be where I would go to do donuts. I never had a car that would do donuts on the pavement. There was a road, there was like a big Y intersection where I lived, and it was dirt road. So it was it was real easy to do donuts. We'd go out there and rip a couple donuts and just throw dirt everywhere. Because we never had a car that would actually do a donut on the pavement. Coming up on those 30-mile-an-hour curves that they suggest 30 miles an hour right there, they're saying these are 30-mile-an-hour curves, and I think they completely misjudged that one. She ain't got very far. That's what I should be doing right now. Weeding the garden. But I'm an irresponsible biker. It's a nice day, I'd rather be out here riding. That's why my garden looks like it does, because I'd rather be out riding. My daughter has said that she hasn't ridden in probably a month or so. I have an idea for a ride next week. I should probably invite her along. I think the next one is the sharp one. I knew it was coming up. This is the one where that red truck was sitting alongside the road and those people were standing out by the field. So I will be slowing down for this one because I know that it's a little sharp and there's a road. So there may be somebody entering the road. There's not, but there could have been. Wouldn't want to be going too fast around that and have somebody pull out and do 30 in front of me. Oof. I hate bumps in the middle of corners. That was a pretty sharp corner. It was a little sharper than what I had anticipated. Riding a little hot, so I'm gonna back her down a little bit. Building. The dang strap is bouncing around. I have to do something with that. Oh, somebody else enjoying Pine River. Gas station up here. I don't know who it is owns it, but somebody stole one of the gas pumps this spring. don't know why you would do that. I guess there is some value to them, but it's just kind of ridiculous that somebody would think they have to do that. It's a good photo op right there. I used to stop quite often and take a picture. Kind of don't anymore. Right about where she was earlier. Where there's one, there's usually more, so you have to enter this area cautiously. Get off the road, Demi. There's two of them, see? I guess I'm glad she crossed when she did, way up in front of me, instead of waiting till I was closer to her before she crossed. It's a little hectic. But if it doesn't look like you're gonna stop, then I'm not gonna go charging through. That's the second one that's done that on this trip. About 50 miles. Take this road to the left, 8 Mile, goes right past where I work. If you've watched any of my other videos, you've seen me at work. Sometimes I do morning commute videos. These straps are something else, man. I figure out what to do with them so they ain't flapping around on my flapping jaws. Triple axle trailer for sale. I do not need one of those. I would like a little bit bigger trailer than what I have. I like the one I have because it is small, but there are times when I would like a little more trailer. It is like perfect temperature out here today. I have my jacket on, I got all the vents open, I don't have it zipped up all the way, and the wind flowing through it's perfect. We're almost at the end of our road too. Once I get done with Pine River, I have a route planned to go home, and there's a couple of curvy spots, another trip down a different river road. So I will just let the camera roll. Easy good ride. That is Pine River. I'm gonna say north to south, south to north, but it might be east to west, west to east, technically. Oh, this bike. Yes, it's the bike's fault that I always miss second gear on it. Might not be, but I'm gonna blame the bike. I miss it quite often. I don't know. I do know how to ride a bike. I just don't know why I miss second gear on this thing all the time. But right now I don't have anybody in front of me, so hopefully it stays that way, because there's a fun little section right here that I like to hit, and quite often I get behind somebody and they kind of ruin the fun. There's a varmint out in that field. Yeah, this is a fun. I wish the whole road was like this. This one's fun. That was a really nice sweeper, but the really fun part is this one, because you switch from a right to a left real quick, and they're both fun curves. I just wish the whole road was like that. I've come through that on so many different bikes, and I've filmed it so many times, and it gives me the same thrill every single time. That is a fun section of road. And I'm gonna be done. I'm not gonna show this part because it's just long, straight, boring stretch of road. Once we get on River Road, I think it's North River Road, I'll pick back up. We're averaging 60 miles to the gallon. All right, we are on, this is Saginaw Road. I thought it was North River Road. It should be called River Road because it does follow the river. There I go, driving along with my blinkers on. I've been down this road before on different bikes in different videos, and the best explanation for this is it's just not straight. It's not twisty, curvy fun like Pine River. There's some elevation changes, but it's just not straight. Heard me say before, all the roads in mid-Michigan are long, straight, boring stretches of road, and they are. So when you get something like this that isn't a long, straight, boring stretch of road, it's not bad. It's a nice change, a little variety. I think we got a rider in front of us. No, and that's just a small car or a trike. I still have a hard time with the trikes and identifying them as bikers. I get it. I'll probably be on one day. The road's been resurfaced. How recently? Fairly recently. They did, I came up River Road, and there was a large portion of that had been resurfaced as well on the south side of the road here, or on the south side of the river. Last week when I come home, there's a particular section that is got some nice curves in it, and it's like, okay, there's a lot of rocks on the road, so we're not going to lean quite as hard today, so it wasn't quite as fun. Another big bug on the windshield, my word. That's what happens when you're old and you hit a bump, you start groaning. But I got cheap ice cream because of it. I got a discounted ice cream cone because of my age. So that when I hit a bump is worth it for cheap ice cream, right? Really need to clean my visor. It is riddled with bugs. See, this road's not really all that interesting. It's just not straight. So once I get off of this road, I'm gonna shoot up the expressway to get home. Actually, I'm gonna shoot up the expressway a little ways until I get to Salzburg. I'm not sure, I can't see it quite yet. I don't think that's a trike. I think that's one of those with training wheels on it. Nope, it's Can-Am. So a snowmobile with wheels. My buddy's got one of those. He just loves it. Of course, he loves his snowmobile too, so hence why he's got a snowmobile with wheels on it.
Well, there you go. That was Pine River both ways on the CB500F. It was about 80 miles, and the computer on the bike said we're getting about 60 miles to the gallon. Usually it's pretty conservative, so we were probably getting 62, 63 miles to the gallon. I really do love this bike, and that's a really super fun road. So thanks for joining me today, and if you're out riding, ride safe.